Well, this one, you may be giving up the corporate jewels in this one, but who knows?
Well, okay. Normally those are above the fireplace. Oh, wait, different. Sorry, edit.
Different jewels.
My bad.
Hi there. Welcome to Artist in Residence, Living Creatively in the Middle. I'm Jason Alberty. I am speaking, as always, with entrepreneur and business owner Gerard Estella, where we discuss what it's like to live creatively in the middle of everything. Now, you own a couple of different businesses, but one of them happens to be an advertising agency.
We like to call it a creative agency.
Of course you do.
Yes.
When you are working with
Yes.
a group of creatives, what is the most important thing for you as a leader to keep in mind?
Snacks.
Of course
it is. All right. Seriously, there's two things. All right. And in general, this works both. I'm gonna look at the two sides of industry. So if I'm looking at like a creative agency or advertising or marketing or PR firm, whatever, right? That's creativity for a specific purpose and aim. That's communication and an ROI on that creativity towards a client's goals.
Right.
Okay. If I'm looking at it like, hey, we're working with an artist, we're working with a filmmaker or whatever, which is what the other company does, which is part of what we do here at Brucemore as well. The challenge are all the same, but the difference is what we use as a metric for success, right? So when I'm looking at the corporate world, right, the process is to be able to say, are we saying something that is truthful? That, by the way, this is what's weird. You're going to hear this. What's weird is because the reason why at least for the agency that I'm a partner with, two lovely people that the three of us are founding partners of the company. We believe in the storytelling aspect, but that it's a truthful, engaging, and resourced story whose aim is to communicate something very simply for a client. So the fancy line that we throw out is we do creative solutions to business problems. When I hear, let's have a meeting and everybody just bring your ideas and it's going to be, there's it's open box and all this other stuff, we don't do that. Okay. We start with what's the problem? So what's the solution eventually gets there. Running a team of creative people is to give them a direction and a structure and then get the F out of the way. There is like, if I was to say, look, here's my problem. I'm company XYZ. Here's my problem. Sales are down in the Northeast corridor. We don't know. We're seeing different traffic on our website, we just taking a look at, maybe we need to like really look at how we're engaging the clients in that area, customers in that area, whatever. Basically, sales are down in the Northeast corridor. You don't know why. They're just down. And you want a marketing team or an agency or something to come up with a solution that will bring sales back up. It'd be very easy to go, well, what we need to look at such a brand and let's look at your web analytics, let's look at all that. Or I can ask my team of people, what do you think about the company? What are they saying to you? What are they doing? We start by asking a lot of questions because creatives, by definition, for them to be creative, they're inquisitive. You give them a blank page, a lot of people don't know where to start. You give them a lot of questions that have been answered, that blank page becomes a way for them to give you the total answer, right? So my job is basically to get people who are way better than I am, for whatever reason, to say, yes, I'll work for you guys. Right. And keep them engaged. Keep them engaged, not by saying, look at the work we're doing. Keep them engaged in the fact that, look what you are doing, right? So now if I was going to take that same premise, how do I keep a creative team that's working on an artist, for example, or a film or whatever? The vision is always going to be, whether it's the director or the producer in conjunction with an artist, the vision may be just the artist, right? So now that's the company. What is it that they're trying to communicate? What's the story we're trying to tell? The instant that you allow creative people to think and work in the construct of storytelling, and to work and think in the construct of, I have to be true, I have to be easy to understand, on what I'm going to say is agency work, right? The last thing we need to do is confuse a client, and more importantly, confuse their customers, right? So, when we say, hey, if we put, you want a sale and you're going to put this number in a big starburst and we're going to slap it on something, there are countless teams that would do that. I would never do that, because there's countless teams that are doing that. The first thing I would tell the client is, well, if you're going to drop price, what's the value proposition? How can we talk about value? Then I ask my team, guys, how do you talk about value?
Like, getting back to the story.
Right. It's always about story. And more importantly, for what your question was, how do you run that? It's to understand that every creative will have a different answer. And it doesn't have to be the way you would do it. Does it meet the goal of the client? Does it speak true? Does it showcase the differential, the value proposition of the client to its customer? Yeah, then I don't care if it's red or yellow, or if it's this font or that font, or if it's this line of copy or that line of copy. I would do it differently, I'm sure. But I'm not the one doing it. I have to trust that the people that are doing it are just as vested in success the way I am. So the number one thing when you're working with creative people, and it's a hard thing, especially if you're creative, is giving up control.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing. Would any of my team answer and say, well, dude, that's easy for you to say because you're the boss and you signed the paycheck, right? That's obviously what I would hear back.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. Until they're like, but there's a lot of times that you're like, just figure it out. Do I need to see it? No. Should I? Yes. Do I look at stuff for the client? Absolutely. One of the ways that we work at the agency is that one of the 3 owners is on every account, so that our clients know that there's skin in the game,
Right.
regardless of the size of the client. 7 figures, 6 figures, 5 figures. When we do pro bono work, there's still an owner on it, right? I think that the hardest lesson for somebody who wants to be leading creative people is understanding that there's many different solutions, and it doesn't have to be the way you would do it unless you're the artist. So when I've got, pulling it back to sort of like what we do here.
Yeah.
Right. So when I have an artist, my main job as a producer is to push them to be the best part of them that they can be.
Right.
And also to stop them from being their biggest impediment. Right. So how do you do that? You sort of have to do this. I'm going to let you control that, but that's not truthful. That's not your story. You're following fame, or you're following what you think you should do, as compared to when this happens a lot, and I wish it didn't, but it does happen a lot. And it's because we're in the middle. There's not a lot of places in middle America outside of, it's fully collaborative, right? But there's not a lot of places where people have 30 years of experience or 25 years of experience and they're working with somebody who's got none.
Right.
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 There's not that type of mentorship, type of almost apprenticeship type of program in the middle. And frankly, it's almost gone on the coast as well. So I hear a lot of, well, I feel like I should do this. I want to be like this person. I want to be like that person. My music should be more like this because I needed to play on this radio station. I'm trying to do that. And I go, or you could be you. They've never given themselves the ability to be them. If I'm trying to run that team, I want them to be them. Right. So on both sides of the coin, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I just have to be smart enough to get out of the way when I need to get out of the way, hopefully inspire when they need inspiration. And it does go back to number one, bring snacks. I'm serious. Food is if you're in the middle of like, when we're doing something and a lot of our clients are overseas, international, so time zones mean nothing. So when it's like, 3 o'clock in the morning our time, but it's 9 a.m. in London, I'm just gonna say when my team is there working and I show up with breakfast or dinner at 3 a.m., depending upon which way they are,
Yeah.
that's not buying loyalty. That's just being a good human being.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because with them being fed, creativity better.
That's absolutely right.
So snacks is the answer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. There's your answer. Everything is snacks.
Yes, indeed.
Thanks again. This is Artist in Residence, living creatively in the middle. I'm Jason Alberty with Gerard Estella. If you have any questions, please do leave them at the bottom of the video.
And if you have any snacks that you really are like, this is the snack, please leave it because I'd be more than happy to try it.
Absolutely. Send it our way. Thanks. Have a good rest of your day.